everybody, this is Mac here, and we are doing systems of equations solving for word problems. If you haven't seen it already, I did a version A of this, and if you haven't found it, you can find it at maxtutorials.com. I have lots of math there on many different subjects, not just these word problems. So if you just stumbled across this, please go and check that out. It'll help you with everything with math, and obviously liking and subscribing to this video helps me out a lot, and I would really appreciate that. All right, so going on to version B, let's just do some more. Now, our goal when we do system of equation word problems is we're looking for two different equations that'll have two different terms in it. So let's just do a few, and by doing them, I think it'll really help you to figure it out. So let's just start. A zoo sold 140 tickets. Child tickets cost $5. Adult tickets cost $12. Okay. Total sales were $12.60. How many of each tickets? Well, it's child and adult, right? Okay, so I'm going to take the number of the child tickets plus the number of adult tickets would be the total number of tickets they sold, right? And that would be 140. Now, they each have a price. The child's are $5, so I'm going to times each child by 5. And I'm going to add each adult is 12. And how much money was it all together? It was $12.60. And if you notice, I have an elimination problem all set up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. That's not a C, that's a parenthesis. I'm going to multiply it by -5 because that would allow me to kill my C's. All right, and once I multiply by all three, I'm going to get a -5C minus 5A equals whatever 5 times 140 is, and that's going to be 700. And again, it's a negative sign, so it has to be a -700. I'm just going to copy everything else, 5C plus 12A equals 1260. And now we're just going to add them together. The C's will go away, and I'm left with 7A equals, oh boy, what would that be? 560, it looks like. Okay, now I'm going to divide each side by 7. Did I do that right? Looks like I did. Okay, so when I divide by 7, well, 7 will go into 56 how many times? Well, 7 times 8 is 56, so there's 8 and a 0. And what did that equal? That equaled my adult tickets, okay? So now I got to figure out the child tickets. So I'm going to go back to this original question, C plus A equals 140, and I'm going to plug in my A. Okay, so where should I do it? I'll do it right here. Sorry, I didn't give myself a lot of room. Whoops. The child tickets plus the adults, which are 80, we sold 140. Once I subtract 80 from both sides, boom, die. Child tickets, I sold 60. So in this equation, 60 child tickets, 80 adult tickets. All right, let's go on to number 2. A pet store has birds and rabbits, totaling 36 animals. There are 100 legs altogether. How many birds and rabbits are there? Well, this one's a little tricky, I think, because let's see, a rabbit. We know they've got the big legs. What about the fronts? Do we call those legs? Well, I guess they're not really hands. So I guess we'll say a rabbit has 4 legs, okay? And then the birds, of course, have 2 legs. The other 2 are wings. So here's what we're going to do. Pet store has birds and rabbits totaling 36 animals. So my birds plus my rabbits are going to equal 36 animals. 100 legs. So for each bird, I'm going to times it by 2. And for each rabbit, I'm going to times it by 4. And when I add them together, I'm going to get 100 legs. Those are my 2 equations. Now I'm just going to do an elimination problem. So I'm going to multiply this by a -2, all 3. And when I do that, I get a -2b minus 2r equals -72. Okay? Boom. Oh, didn't want to do that line. Sorry. Go away. Go away. Cross out. Wow, this was working so well before. There we go. Now I'm just going to copy underneath it my 2b plus 4r equals 100. Boom. Die. I'm left with 2r equals, that would be a 28. And when I divide by 2, boom. Rabbits equal 14. I have 14 rabbits out of the whole thing. Okay? Cool. Now I'm going to plug it right back in there. So my birds plus my 14 rabbits is going to equal 36 animals. Subtract your 14 from each side, and I'm going to get my birds equal 36 minus 14. Sorry, that's a little sloppy. And I'm going to get 22. Okay, and there's my 36 animals and my 100 legs. All right, 2 numbers add to 90. One number is 18 greater than the other. Find the numbers. Well, X plus Y equals 90. Pretty simple, right? Two numbers add to 90. All right, so one number is going to be 18 greater than the other. All right, so I've got my X. Boom, there's my X. Well, my Y is going to be whatever that X is, and it's going to be 18 more than that. You see that? Y equals X plus 18. And so once I put that in, I'll write it over here. Y equals X plus 18. Actually, I'll just leave it out there. I like it out there. It's kind of neat. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to plug that in now for Y. So I'm going to get X plus, what is the Y? I'm going to write it down there. It's going to be X plus 18. Remember, when we do substitution, always fill in with parentheses. You never know when it's going to matter. And in this case, it doesn't. So X plus X is going to be a 2X plus 18 equals 90. I'm going to, let's get really big here. Subtract 18 from both sides. Boom, die. I'm going to write it over here. That's going to be a 2X equals a 72. I divide each side by 2. X equals 36. All right. And then once I learned about my X, what did I learn? Y is going to be X plus 18. See right there? So now I'm going to write Y equals, what is X? It's 36 plus 18. And when I do that, I'm going to get Y equals 54. All right. Now, does that add up to 90? Yeah, they do. I found it. I win. Yay. A school dance sold 200 tickets. Student tickets cost 8 and adult tickets cost 12. Why are adults buying tickets for the school dance? Only students buy tickets for a school dance. That's a little weird. Okay, I mean, maybe chaperones, but they get in for free. See, don't do that while you're doing problems. Don't think about it like that, because that always kind of makes my brain go weird. Adults shouldn't be buying tickets for a school dance. Okay, maybe it's a fundraiser. Maybe it's some special dance, like maybe the jazz band is coming and they're playing, and students and adults can go and dance and have dinner or something. There, that's what it is. It's not weird at all. Okay, so school dance sold 200 tickets, and we have students and adults. So we're going to go students. Can I write child, even though I know student, child, that sounds weird, but those S's start to look like fives to me. So we're going to say just child, okay? So my child plus my adult tickets equal 200, okay? And my student tickets are $8. So my child tickets are $8. And my adult tickets are 12. So I'm going to go 12A. When I add it together, it made $1,900, $1,920. There we go. All right, so now if I want to kill my C's, I'm going to multiply everybody by a -8. I could multiply by a -12, but then I start getting really big numbers, and I don't know if we really want to do that just yet, okay? So now, boom, boom, boom. So I'm going to get a -8C minus 8A equals -1,600. And then I'm going to just copy down the other one, because it's always nice to copy it down. We like it when they're on top of each other. It makes it a little bit easier to read. They die, and I'm left with 4A equals, that would be a 320. Don't believe me? Ask your calculator. Boom, 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 boom. A equals 80. We sold 80 adult tickets. So now all we got to do is figure out the child or the student tickets. So we have C, the child, plus the A. What's the A? It's 80 equals 200. And my friends, all I did is I just took this one right there, okay? And I'm just, well, this wasn't that part of it. It was to there, okay? And so that's all I'm doing. And so now I'm going to subtract 80 from both sides. They die. C equals 120. 120 students, 80 adults, okay? That's a big ratio. Guess those kids can't get in any trouble. Here we go. Number 5. A fundraiser sold 95 sandwiches. Ham sandwiches cost 6 and turkey sandwiches cost 8. Total sales were 700. How much of each? Well, we know that there were ham and turkey, and when we put them both together, they sold 95. Now let's put $1. $6 for every turkey. 6T. Okay. Oh, sorry. What am I doing? See, I read that poorly. Go back and read it slowly. Ham sandwiches cost 6. $6 for every ham. Turkey sandwiches cost 8. Okay, so we're going to add $8 for every turkey. Altogether, we spent $700. Okay, Let's multiply this by a negative 6 to all three. That's going to give me a negative 6h minus 6t equals whatever 6 times 95 is. And I am going to use my calculator and go 6 times 95. And I'm going to find out that that's going to be a negative 570. And then I'm just going to copy everybody else. Oops. Plus 8t equals 700. Didn't do anything special there. All I did was add them up. Okay. So these die. That becomes a 2t equals 130. And then I'm going to divide each by 2. And my t is going to equal 65. 65 what? Turkey sandwiches. Okay, my turkey, because that t is 65. Now I'm going to go over here. Now look over here. That right there was the original. That's what I'm going to put it into. So instead of t, I'm going to write 65. So h plus 65 is going to equal 95. I'm going to subtract 65 from each side. Boom, die. And my ham sandwiches are going to equal 30. All right, so 30 ham sandwiches, 65 turkey sandwiches. Last one. A garage has cars and bicycles totaling 25 wheels. There are 74 wheels altogether. How many cars and bikes? Well, my cars plus my bikes is going to equal 25. All right, now every car has how many wheels? Every car has 4 wheels. Every bike has what? 2 wheels. How many wheels altogether? We're going to get 74 wheels. So now I have my system of equation. I'm going to solve by elimination. I'm going to times this by a negative 2. Let's get rid of the bikes because I can see I have a plus 2. So I'm going to get negative 2c minus 2b equals negative 50. And I'm just going to copy on the bottom a 4c plus a 2b equals 74. And now I'm just going to do it. My b's die. And I'm left with 2c equals 74 minus 50, which is 16. I divide each by 2, and I'm going to get my cars equal. I have 8 cars. All right, then I'm going to go plug him back into there. And instead of C, I'm going to write 8 plus B, my bikes, equal 25. Once I subtract each by 8, my bikes equal 17. Okay, there we go. 17 bicycles and 8 cars. I hope these are starting to make sense to you. I know that these can be asked in very different ways, but if you just look at the process where I try to come up with 2 different equations, and then I just solve them as we worked on with the system of equations earlier, either by substitution or by elimination, you can see how these all work. Okay, so anyways, there's version B. I have one more version, version C. So if you're still just getting the hang of this, you want to try a few more on your own, go to version C and I'll see you there. Take care.